Morning, everyone. I wanted to take some time in this course to specifically go over the final project part 2 that is due this week, in week 7. We've had a lot of problems. A lot of students are really missing the point of each of the assignments, so I thought it would be very helpful to go over this one specifically in hopes that everyone will do really, really awesome on this assignment and pull up some grades. So please do follow along. Hopefully this video will be short and sweet, but very helpful to you. So first of all, I want to give you some tips to help you get that exemplary grade on this final assignment. It's worth 125 points, and you have the ability of getting the full 125 points if you use these tips and follow along with me during this presentation. First of all, review the Tip Top Bakery marketing recommendations, the example presentation that SNHU has provided for you. Just look at it so you have a good idea of what this assignment covers. Please read and follow the instructions and the template provided for this assignment. It gives you the detailed questions on each slide of what you need to answer. Also, look at the rubric to make sure that the information that you've put in your presentation is what the rubric is asking for. I use that rubric exclusively when I'm grading your assignments. And if you want an exemplary grade, you have to get the highest score, that whole 125 points, you need to make sure that you have followed all the criteria in that column. And we're going to look at the rubric at the very end. Please, please also use the feedback I've provided to you in previous assignments to make corrections and improvements. A lot of you have missed the mark on the factors of the SWOT analysis, and I've provided feedback several times on this to help you make improvements, but I don't know if you're not reading the feedback or if perhaps you're confused by my feedback or whatever, but please review your former assignments to make sure that you do make those corrections. And if it is confusing, contact me for help. I will get right back to you and provide you with as much assistance as I can. So let's take a quick peek at the 5 different steps that you're going to be graded on with this assignment. The first step is in the social responsibility of your company. The questions you're going to need to answer is, what does social responsibility mean to a company? So if you haven't read the textbook and reviewed the module and things like that, you're not going to totally understand what social responsibility really is. So please do read that information and explain why it is important and why your department should be interested in it. The next part of the assignment is dealing with internal factors, your strengths and weaknesses. And you're going to discuss how these internal factors impact your marketing strategy. And then you're going to use the SWOT analysis that you've been working on over the past 7 weeks to elaborate on the strengths and weaknesses that the company should consider and which one is the most important and why. If you missed the mark on strengths and weaknesses in previous assignments, you need to change these so that you get them right. Remember that strengths and weaknesses are internal factors that you can control. One that I've seen popular on everybody is the weakness is that it's 10% higher than the competition. That is a weakness. You can control the cost of your product ultimately, but that is a weakness because because it's a higher cost, and it's something you have to be aware of and take into consideration. So review your strengths and weaknesses. Make sure they are internal factors that you have control over. Your next step, step 3, is external factors. These are opportunities and threats. And a lot of you really missed the mark on opportunities and threats. You'll need to look at how these external factors are going to impact the marketing strategies that you're suggesting. And again, use the SWOT analysis to elaborate on the opportunities and threats you should consider and which are the most important and why. Okay, so be sure to be very explanatory in your slides. Remember, opportunities and threats are external factors that you do not have control over. This requires a little bit of research to look at your surrounding social, economical, political trends that are going on, your competition, things like this that you have no control over. This does require some research. You can't always just use your gut feeling. You need to research the external environment to see what is going on out there so that you are aware of these things. You might research the area in which you plan on putting your store. It might be a trend that's growing in the United States as a whole, whatever, but do some research. I provided some links to research back in, I think, week 2 or week 3 of the pet food industry. You can also use the library. Mintel database is awesome to help you look at the pet food industry. Statista database is also a great resource. So, put in some effort on this part and really find these external factors. Step 4, you're going back to your target market needs and wants and how you're going to leverage them to market in the marketing strategies you're suggesting. Remember, everything should be focused on the customer. You are customer centric. It's the customer's needs and wants you want to focus on, not your company's needs and wants. And you also need to provide examples, okay? And again, using the work that you've done in your target market analysis, how does understanding your company's wants and needs help in developing a target market strategy? So be sure that you look back into your previous homework assignments and see my feedback for improvements. And finally, step 5, you're going to look at how you're going to expand this target market. All right. So remember, you're introducing this new pet food product for cats and dogs. And originally, you might have focused on just millennials, or you might have just focused on retirement. How are you going to expand this? Are you going to look at specialized breeds? Are you going to expand into a new area? Are you going to look at a different group of individuals, perhaps, that have a lower income and that can't really afford your product, but maybe you can identify their wants and needs and how you can make modifications in your marketing strategies to meet their wants and needs. And again, provide examples utilizing your work that you've completed. And finally, this is a look at the rubric. You have access to this on the assignment in the learning module, and you can see that where the critical elements that you're going to be graded on is the social responsibility, the internal, external factors, the needs and wants, and how to expand the target market. And if you want an exemplary grade, 100%, you need to meet this criteria in these areas. I'm going to see if I can turn on my pen here. Yeah, there we go. So this is the exemplary part you want to focus on right there. And so you have to kind of go above and beyond what is considered proficient if you want an A in this assignment. Finally, this right here, this articulation of response. Please make sure that you use proper citation. You've got Purdue OWL and you've got the Citing Your Sources guide with through SNHU to help you with this. And proofread your work before you submit it. I see a lot of simple spelling and grammatical and punctuation errors that just simply proofreading would fix. So, go through that and make sure it's organized nice. You are more than welcome to change the background of the presentation and make it kind of fun. I encourage you to use visuals, pictures and things like that to really express your thoughts and everything visually. This is good practice for when you get out in the real world and you actually create a presentation for your boss or the board of directors or whoever. So, we're at the end of the class. This is your final assignment. I do strongly encourage you to put a little extra effort into this one, and I know you will blow it out of the water, and it's going to look awesome. And as I say here, you got this. I know you can do it, and I am so excited to see some amazing homework assignments completed. And again, if you have a question, please email me, please contact me, and I will get back to you ASAP, okay? Well, good luck. You do got this, all right? And you're going to do an awesome job. And have a great week. Bye.